What up, though? It's another episode of Cocktails with Cocktails. I just want to start the episode off by dedicating it, as we did the other two episodes, to our lost friend, J No, American Street's Finest. We miss you, bro. We love you. We appreciate your support of the show, and we're going to miss you. Alessa, can you tell us what we need to do?
We need all of our listeners and subscribers to follow and subscribe to our Patreon and our YouTube. Both can be found at youtube.com/CWC the podcast and patreon.com/CWC the podcast. Our Patreon has all of our exclusive content. You'll even be able to see one of our homegirls that we have in the studio today giving a tutorial if you log into our Patreon. So make sure you like and subscribe so that you can see all of the raunchiness we got going on.
Nice. And the drink of the day, I made it. It is phenomenal. I can't lie. It's called a Sex on the Beach. My bartender friend explained it to me like this. It's all vagina, aka vodka. P is for penis, aka peach schnapps. The O is for orgasms, aka orange juice, and the C is for coming, aka cranberry juice. That's how she explained it to me. So you're gonna do 2 shots of vodka, 2 shots of orange juice, 2 shots of cranberry juice, 3/4 shots of peach schnapps, and then fuck on the beach.
I'm glad that your bartender friend understands that you need instructions in a certain way.
That's not why she gave it to me, you asshole.
Oh,
She said that was how it was explained to her. You just messed it up.
Can
I introduce the guest?
Go right ahead.
Fucking asshole. All right, so we have, can't say that, they flaked.
I thought she was just understanding
We
her
have
friend.
a queen for all your fetishes, the housekeeper your wife doesn't want you to call, the bratty soft dom, Stephanie, and we have the erotic masseuse, happy ending specialist, singer, songwriter, poet, and still a R. Kelly fan, Queen B. You okay? What? What's wrong? What's wrong? Did I say something? What? You all right? It's okay. So I'm gonna ask y'all the intro question. What's your favorite I'm just playing. I'm not even gonna do it. Have you ever given head with someone else before?
Yes.
Okay. Give us a story.
Yeah, tell us about it, because I've never
Lots
done
first.
that.
Okay.
Is this section part 1 or 2?
So part 1. Okay, so basically, me and my best friend was kicking it with this homegirl that he also fuck with. We was just at my crib, chilling, drinking, vibing out. Next thing you know, his homeboy and his girl fell asleep on my couch. We went to my bedroom. Yeah, it was a good night. Let me see. She started sucking his dick first. Then I started sucking his dick with her. And then after that.
So, like, were you, like, on the other sides of, like, a hot dog or something, and it was just like,
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then at some point we alternated. Yep.
So you was the ball.
Or she took the dick, I had the balls.
Okay.
Did anybody eat ass?
Was there any ass eating
I always
on
want
the floor?
I always want the Captain Morgan. That's my fantasy.
I won't say I ate her ass, but
I meant his ass.
No.
You don't eat ass?
She said that so quick.
Wait, you do eat ass. I've seen you eat ass.
When have you seen me eat ass?
Did she eat ass on the happy ending tutorial?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, maybe I was imagining. My fantasy was getting there.
Yeah, your imagination was running rampant.
I'm gonna ask Darnell.
I promise you, I ain't no ass. Okay.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing her.
No,
Stephanie?
I ain't no ass, but I played with her
Tell
ass.
us, did you suck dick with somebody before?
Yes. So I've sucked dick with a woman and with a man. So which story do we want to talk
The
about?
one with the man.
Most definitely. Cause hold on.
So I'm gonna say it was fire, and this was never like a fantasy or nothing that I thought I would ever have. It just happened. So yeah,
Yeah.
right. So actually, I went to a smaller sex party.
Okay.
And I would say the party started dying down, and then it was only a few people left or whatever. And this girl, she was like, laying on the bed. So it was 4 of us on the bed, 2 guys, 2 girls. So she's just like, I want to see you suck his dick. And I'm looking like, what?
Me?
No, no, she telling another man this.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Hold on.
Stephanie just in the corner like, God damn.
So I looked over. I'm like, what? You know, like, what's happening? He started sucking his dick, like, sucking his dick. So I'm like, shit. So I started sucking dick with him, and it was a thing. Next thing I know, he was eating pussy and sucking dick at the same time, and I just been turned out ever since.
So, have you sucked dick with a man again?
Yeah.
Who sucks dick better, him or you?
I think it was a combination, like, of
It
excitement.
was a nice group effort.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was a tie. So it was Luka and LeBron.
I think, yeah, it was really nice.
What? How?
But yeah,
So, Queen B, could you suck dick with a man?
You know what? It would have to be an opportunity that just presented itself. I can't say
Like Stephanie's.
I can't say I would or wouldn't if it's in the moment and I'm just okay, you know.
it was
Right.
never a discussion.
I think I would have to see it and get turned on.
Could you do that with your man, though?
I would have to.
I would say so.
So you could date a bi man and... Okay.
I think that it still have to be like a level of,
Oh, I'm sorry, babe.
you know, honesty, like a healthy foundation of like trust and respect still, you know, because
Oh, most definitely.
yeah, because like the same would apply if you were straight, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Have you ever been in a bisexual threesome?
definitely.
Wow.
I've been in bisexual group plays.
What do
like-
you do when a man is banging out a man?
Well, no, okay, so I must say I've been in soft bi situations. So
Explain that,
like,
because I don't know what the fuck
so
that
most
is.
of the time it's just like oral between the guys or like jacking off, never like penetration.
So
Oh,
did you-
so never full on
Yeah.
dick inside them.
I was going to say, did you
Yeah.
ever suck some shit dick?
No, that's not
Why
my.
did
That's
my
like a-
Siri activate when you said that?
Siri said, wait a minute.
Like, hold on, what y'all talking about?
I think some vodka might come in handy now. And I'm surprised this don't have grapefruit in it.
Somebody
Elle
else said
said
that on the very first
yeah.
episode.
It
It tastes like grapefruit, but when
Yeah.
you say orange juice and cranberry,
I
I'm
think it's a
like,
peach
okay.
schnapps getting y'all.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
the combination.
And you know what's weird? I thought I was going to hate it because I don't like any peach flavored drinks. Yeah.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Well, getting-
Did you taste it?
I
I
hate
get like
sex on the beach, like, for
okay,
real.
I do get a little hint of peach.
I at least tried your shit. You could have tried it.
Gotta shake a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, since we're talking about these parties, why don't we just start here?
Okay.
You throw parties.
Yes.
I want to.
I'm fairly new to
Yeah.
throwing parties too.
We're not going to
so-
give details of
Okay.
our 90-minute conversation
Okay, right.
of us introducing.
Okay.
Because I thought Stephanie was fake.
Okay.
And if you follow
What do you
me,
mean you thought she was fake?
if you follow me and you follow the show, y'all know the creeps that be around.
Okay, that's fair.
And I thought Stephanie was fake, and it was funny because the creeps that be around, Stephanie is aware of, and she thought that we may not be legitimate. So when we both answered the phone and we gave each other the initial story, we realized we was talking about the same creeps.
people, yeah.
But in the conversation, we were talking about sex parties and pros and cons and do's and don'ts and everything. And Stephanie was telling me how she created a very organic and what's the word I'm looking for? Intimate party setting, and how she's going with another party. So I just want you to briefly explain like what this party is going to consist of and where people can follow you at if they want to be a part of your parties. And also when you go over the party, go over the security for the physical and security for everybody, you know, sexually.
Yeah, like
as well.
proper sex party etiquette.
Yeah, because I feel like you need actual security at sex parties.
Definitely. So
You could charge
I
me.
will start there. So, well, I'll have security
Yeah.
for sure. And I want to say the first thing about sex parties is consent. You know, that's the first
Amen.
thing. We want to
Consent is key.
start there with consent. And then Next thing, safety. So I feel like, obviously in a realistic, setting, we would have STI testing and,
Fuck.
And look what you just did.
I'm trying to. Travis is pissed. I'm sorry, y'all. Keep going.
Yeah, have STI testing and or even my charts, set up. But I've been hearing to where like people create fake my charts. And
They do, and it's sick.
Yeah, and then also with any testing, you can have unprotected sex with, like you can be in a situation where you not fucking around, but your partner might be fucking around, and you might have clean STD or STI results, and then it changed after because you now have a new partner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like when I was in the medical field, they told us treat everybody like they have AIDS. So when you go, no, seriously, like when you go into anywhere, and that's even
This
outside.
is the face I made on the phone, okay?
It's crazy. Even though it still shocked me, it's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's not the first time I've heard that. Yes, I've heard that from another person in the medical field. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like seriously,
Okay.
that's what they teach us when you're dealing with, blood and just bodily fluids and stuff like that. They
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
So I feel like you should have that same
Scrub down and be
mindset
safe.
going into
Okay.
sex parties. Like you obviously, use protection and, even have a conversation. You like, like, hey, like
clean.
we may not do STI testing or whatever, but it's like, it's up to you. Hey, like, do you want to exchange my charts today? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we have to take that additional step for our own safety. So regardless of what anybody else do, or even if it was presented, paperwork and all of that good stuff, I feel like you still have to take, you have to be responsible for yourself.
Do
So
y'all provide condoms?
yep. So I'll have condoms, dental dam, lube, towels,
Nice.
like so. I'm gonna have like the basics, but it's up to those people to
use their
them.
discernment
Yes.
and actually be smart about their own
Exactly.
protection.
Right.
Okay.
Let's just say like you at a sex party, right? Or your sex party, and Travis is there and he's just chilling, drinking with his sex party robe on.
Okay.
And you would like to introduce yourself to Travis in ways that he may not have expected. How do you do that? Like, what's the game at a sex party is what I'm asking.
There's no game at a sex party.
You just
I
walk
feel
up,
like,
grab the dick.
no, that is not considered. That is
See, I was trying to trick her.
No,
you good.
you ask. You always, and that go for women too. Women on women, women on men, men on women.
Can I eat your
However,
pussy?
exactly. It's just that easy, and she can say no, or maybe later, and you respect whatever answer that's given to you. You know what I'm saying? So I also do icebreakers in the beginning of the party. So
Okay, that's nice.
so you talk.
Tell us one.
So I would say, hey, introduce yourself. And so I'll do it. So I'll be like, hey, my name is Stephanie. I'm bi. I'm open to men and women. And, they can go from there. You know what I'm saying? Or some people, they'll be like, hey, like we're a couple and we soft swap, or we're women only. So like she can have sex with a woman, but nothing else. People
Okay.
like it's whatever you choose
that's
to do.
nice.
Yeah. So, or you could go to a party and say, hey, like I'm here to watch, and everybody's going to respect that
But-
you just want to watch.
Don't you have to make sure it's not too many watchers?
Well, I think everything is organic and it's just natural. So you go, and some people go and they just want to mingle and talk and, eat and drink and just be around this sort of environment.
Y'all be having hors d'oeuvres?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
You know what?
I mean,
I would want to go to a sex party where it's
you are gonna get hungry.
yeah.
You
I
gonna
want
need a
to,
little
but you
something
gotta
like
watch what you eat at a sex party.
And that's
Yeah.
why I asked, because I've seen some that don't provide any type of snacks.
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm real
gotta have some
big
Cheetos.
on like
some type of substance,
And
a
mouthwash,
Gatorade, at least.
toothpaste.
yes,
Yeah,
all of that.
Yeah. A
But
washcloth.
what's funny? Like I did food at my last party, and nobody ate nothing but chips and dip. So I had shrimp cocktail. Yeah, like
Oh no,
I had
y'all
Yeah.
crazy.
I would've took that shit home.
Okay,
I had
I would've
pin
tried.
rolls, everything. Like I went all out. Fruit trays, vegetable trays. Nobody ate nothing. Like
The
they
fuck?
ate chips
You
and
coulda
dip.
did a lot
And
with- you coulda
Do people
done-
do
you coulda
anal
did
at
a
sex
lot of
parties?
freaky stuff with
they
the fruit.
whatever you like.
You did
can-
anal at a sex party?
Well, so I've never done anal. Yeah, but
Oh really?
I feel like getting fucked in the ass at a sex party is wild. Like,
I mean,
say you the shit on the dick
I don't know.
sex
Wait,
party.
why is
Before I
all
ever
the
did it, I
ass
thought-
is shitty to you though?
I thought getting fucked in the
Like,
ass was wild in general before I actually did it.
I hear feel good.
You never tried it, Stephanie?
I had a finger and a tongue, but
does.
not an actual dick. No.
You know what's crazy? You have a beautiful ass, from what I heard.
Oh, well, thanks.
I was gonna, if you ain't had the one piece
It was my
on, you would
first
have
time
asked you to
here.
see it.
You know, and what's funny is, so I've lost weight since, like a lot of pictures on my website and stuff like that. And I feel like the first thing that went was my butt.
Oh, it's still there.
You know, just a little bit. She trying to keep me in there, but like it's shrinking. I'm like, damn, like why I couldn't shrink the stomach first? So
It always happens that way.
yeah, I don't like
So-
that. Like not at all.
Okay, just hit some squats,
crazy.
hit some lunges, just tone that bad boy up, build that muscle. It'll come back.
That's why I don't have to do
It'll
something.
come back muscle plump too.
Reason why I put y'all together, right? Because I thought it was a dope conversation.
Okay.
How does it work with somebody like Queen B if she wanted to come to your sex party? Because Queen B has herpes, right? So how does that work?
Okay.
Is that an issue? Is that like you knowing that, would you give an icebreaker to everybody? Like, what's the rules for something like that? Because everybody should be able to have fun. And everybody should be educated on what they're dealing with at the same time as well.
That's true. And I feel like that go back to just being honest with your partner, you know, and I feel like, so I've never been in a situation like that, but I think that like if I had an icebreaker, it would be a general conversation that covers everything and it wouldn't specifically point out one person, you know? So again, that goes to you being responsible.
That's smart. I love
Yeah,
that.
because that can also be isolating
Yeah, 'cause
for
she
that
could
person.
you know,
Hey, y'all, she got herpes. Like, that's wild.
Yeah,
But
like,
how you just did it.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people here have something.
Right.
So you have to do
Just-
it.
yeah.
I love that.
Pretty much make it seem like I got like
Right,
Yeah.
Like I just feel like
because that's
no.
singling you out as an individual in
Yeah.
this space that has many individuals.
that has
Also-
individuals in a space where it's supposed to be low-key a safe space.
I did
Exactly.
ask Brittany or Queen B if I could talk about this on the show prior.
Well, I assume so. She seemed very comfortable
But see,
with
I'll
it,
clip
you know.
this. I'll clip it, and then it'll be like 18 comments like, "Why would he just say that?
Why did she-
like,
why- right.
Yeah,
like,
no,
like
I
he didn't
will
just have-
actually
We definitely
assume,
talked
even
about
like
that.
just talking to
All
you,
up
you
front.
were very, you know, mindful to ask me about topics before
Yeah.
you just threw me in. You know,
Yeah.
like you were, we're gonna talk about this, this, and this. Are you comfortable? You know, so
Yeah.
you gave me a choice to be
Same-
here
same for me
on
as well.
today or
Yeah.
another day. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, like you know, there's certain things that I know before I go through them, and there's certain shit I also have to learn, like as I go through shit, you know, and that's where friends and you know professionals come in with the tips and tricks. Like I'll post something, and they be like, "Hey, you got to post trigger warning before you post some shit like that,"
Right.
and I'm like, "Damn, I ain't think about something like that." Okay, cool. Now I know that, so I took that and I said, "Well, shit, if I gotta post trigger warning, I should probably give a trigger warning to my guests when I have them on the show with certain topics, right?" And so as far as herpes, I wanted to talk to you because one, thank you. You and Marley being the two people that come on the show, I know people who have it that have confided in me privately, but I feel like it's the people that's making the difference are you and Marley because y'all having a conversation out loud and open, and y'all not afraid of the conversation. And so many people have herpes.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna
So
say
we
Yes.
talked about that on the
yeah,
phone.
you know, even people like whether they know or not, some
Yep.
people still don't tell you, and that stuff don't just come up on my charts and stuff like that.
Yep.
Which
No.
takes me back to this is why we have to be responsible for ourselves, and just, you know what I'm saying?
And honestly,
Like,
it's still responsible for other people.
yeah,
Because it's our responsibility to, in a sense, to make that awareness and make that be known. And yeah, I know it can be scary. It can be make you very self-conscious. It can make you very like, you know, not want to tell or disclose that to somebody because everybody reacts differently to that, and not everybody is really mature about that or even educated about herpes. So it makes it hard to want to be like, hey, I got this, but woo 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 woo, you know. Soon as they hear herpes, it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
What's the conversation like when you're talking to somebody and you tell them like, do you just, hey, I got herpes, FYI?
I have a story like that.
Oh, I have a story too.
Yeah, so this girl, she was, you know, we were hanging out like friends. So I'm bi, right? And I
Oh, we
didn't think she was. I didn't think she was very, you know, interested in me that way. But she had came over my house and, you know, we was in the bed talking and she got to touching me and stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, like this is, you know, different. I'm thinking we like friends or whatever.
Oh, you like me.
And so I started touching her back, you know, and we just like, you know, just for like 0.3 seconds. And she stopped and she was like, hey, I need to tell you something. And I'm like, well, what is it? And she's like, hey, I got herpes. And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
did you keep touching?
Well, no. So it had nothing to do with the fact that she had herpes, but it just was like what was happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Like, so it was just that we were friends, you know, and it was just happening. So, but yeah, like, so I respect her to this day. This happened years ago. She didn't have to tell me this because it wasn't gonna go anywhere.
Past
Whether,
us just
you know what I'm saying? Whether she told me, you know,
or not.
Yeah. So, but she did definitely tell me, and I had a different outlook on, you know, just being honest, because like I felt like I would have had it, you know, had I felt that sort of way about her, I probably would have still, you know, engaged in the situation, but just off of her honesty, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and I probably would have had questions like, you know, like, is it something different, you know, we need to do, or, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just
Like,
really
are there
big.
other measures we need to take?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I just, you know, I appreciate her for, you know, just being honest, because that was something big. I remember one time I had an issue, you know, where this person that was really close to me gave me the only STD I ever had in my life, which was trichomonas. And
We talked about that too.
yeah, and that was really hard so I was dating a girl at the time and we had just broke up, and then I went and had sex with this close person of mine, you know what I'm saying? And then, so I told both of them, I'm like, hey, I got this. But what was funny about trichomonas, I found out that it's almost, I'm not going to say impossible to transfer from woman to woman, but the doctor was like, you really, you know, like the odds of that happening is like slim to none. So, and I only had the one other partner. So it was like,
You gave this to me.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he was just like, you know, where'd you get it from? And I was like,
You.
yeah, you know, and it was crazy. Like, I really wish I could disclose like the situation without disclosing it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're
Because
saying.
like I'm saying it's somebody close to me, but it was messed up. It was just like you wouldn't expect this sort of person
And then
to.
I don't think anybody should blame, like, put that, where you get it from.
Yeah.
Like, I could have got it from you.
Exactly.
Because you could have been sitting with it dormant
That's
for a
that's
year.
that's what I thought. But then, so like, okay, I'm gonna just say this so we can have clarification. So my kid's dad gave me trichomonas and a kid, right? So we
went
talked
far.
about it. I broke up. Now I'm pregnant. So I'm feeling like, you know, we got to be together. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, it was a mutual thing. Like, maybe we should try this out. You know, now we got a baby, whatever. So, mind you, I told him I had trichomonas. I told the girl, she went and got treated anyway. They was like, you know, if it's any way associated, we just not going to test you. We're going to treat you. But we did that together. And even telling her that it was hard, you know, so, and that was treatable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
how is it with something?
but yeah,
even
now that
more
we
serious?
together, we have sex again, and I had trichomonas again. So it was like you didn't get treated, or you went and got treated, but you didn't have your partners getting treated. And then they were like calling my phone like, I heard you was pregnant. I thought you was a dyke, you know, cussing me out about all of this stuff. And they losing babies because they got untreated STIs.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But
Because
then,
he not-
but he knew he had it and didn't tell
nobody.
You know what I'm
That's-
saying? So it was like, that's why
That's
I
insane.
respect honesty. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a chance so that I can take proper measures. We
Yeah.
have a conversation at least. And it was like, he took that away from me. You
And
know
I
what
still,
I'm saying?
I still want to go back to Queen B on her. Like, how do you say that to people? How do you have that convo? Like, look in the camera, act like it's your first date. With the camera.
my first day.
Yeah.
My first combo was actually me finding out, and I found out when I was actually at my 8-week prenatal appointment.
Oh, I would have been pissed.
What?
Pissed wasn't
That
even
drive home is insane.
Pissed wasn't even the word. It wasn't even the word. It was devastation. Okay, it was devastation. But I had to tell my baby daddy. I had to tell him, and that was fucked up because I wanted to tell him in person, but he was so persistent, so I had to tell him over the phone.
Don't hit me with I gotta tell you something. Just tell me.
Yeah,
you gotta see me in person and then bring up that you gotta tell me something.
Exactly. That's how I work too.
At the point in time we could never, because he was constantly working. So it was yeah. So it was that was hard. It was very hard. It was very emotional. It was very scary because we was already in a rocky-ish situation.
He didn't take it well initially?
No, he did not. He did not take it well initially. But he did come around.
Did he have it too?
Unfortunately, yes. And for a good minute, we were doing the whole who gave it to who. Because initially when we met, we weren't in a relationship. We was just fucking around, and I just so happened to got knocked up.
That's funny how
That's
we
kind
both
of
talking
unfair.
about
Like,
STIs
unless you
and
tell me you
babies.
don't have another partner, it's kind of unfair. Like to have.
I told him I had other partners. I was honest about it. Okay, but yeah. So that's why I was like, well, I honestly couldn't tell you who I got, because like you said. And then when I started doing my research and I talked to my OB about it, and my OB was like, she was like, honestly, everyone in third person have it. She was like, we don't test for it for that simple fact alone. For literally that fact alone, everyone.
You have to request it when you request a STI panel.
Not only that, even if you request it, they still won't unless you actually are having an active outbreak. They still won't test you unless you have an active outbreak.
What do you do when you see that you have an outbreak?
For me, as of now, because my outbreaks aren't honestly that bad or that frequent. Mostly, I honestly don't take my antivirals. I do the natural path, so I pretty much double my intake on lysine, on L-lysine, which is a supplement that our bodies do not naturally produce. We do have to get it from certain foods, but with the way shit is grown and how the food is fucked up, we not really getting that shit anyway. So. Because the herpes virus feeds off an amino acid called arginine that our bodies do produce. Yeah. So if you have more arginine in your body, that is more sufficient for the virus to survive off of. The lysine actually counteracts and actually fights off the arginine. So with that being said, I do a lot of natural. I take oregano oil, which is an antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, antibacterial. I take that every day if I have a flare up, which again is not that very often. I make sure I'm not as stressed because the virus actually lies dormant within your nervous system.
Interesting.
Yes.
I did not know any of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually lies dormant within your nervous system, within the base of your spine, because that's why whenever you ever go through a highly stressful situation or your nervous system,
break out in hives.
Exactly. Now you're having an outbreak.
Oh my God.
Because now your body is enduring a lot of stress. And that stress activates that time for the virus to actually replicate.
Wow.
And now you're having an outbreak. So as long as you keep your nervous system regulated, you eat healthy, you do what you're supposed to do, you take your supplements, or if you need to take your antivirals like you're supposed to.
Where does the outbreak show up at?
It's various of areas. Inner thigh, for females, inner thigh, lips, actually inside the vaginal canal, in or around the anus. Yeah, on the anus, on your ass. There's various.
Shit,
it
you gotta
depends.
inspect. God damn.
because it's based on skin contact. It's not just fluids. Like if you deal with somebody that's having that, if you have unfortunately have intercourse, someone has it, and sometimes, and again, it's sometimes hard to tell if you're having an outbreak because they can look different too. So sometimes an outbreak can look like just a regular hair bump from like an ingrown hair. You know, it could look like a clear fluid pus filled, you know, type of bump. It could come up in clusters. It could be just one. It's so many different ways for it to pop up.
It's just probably the worst.
It is the worst.
I feel like it'll be the ass for
think
me.
so.
Yeah,
You ever heard on that? No, I say the
think
lips
the booty
because
hole.
now
Yeah,
you just at the
like-
supermarket and a nigga walk by like, this bitch got herpes. Like, you know, like, I'm just saying, like,
And then that's they say all cold sores are a form of herpes.
Yes, herpes
so,
simplex 1.
You know, so
Chickenpox.
Like-
Chickenpox. Oh,
Yeah,
they say that's a
chicken
form
pox.
of
They're all part of the same group.
did y'all see that video on Twitter
MRSA? Is that what it
where
was?
the dude was fucking the girl, and when he was fucking her, it was clear that he had herpes. Like his dick had herpes bumps on it.
Oh.
And so she was upset about catching herpes, and everybody was like, "You dumb bitch."
You didn't see that?
this was
Yeah.
something viral on Facebook or something I seen.
You didn't see that?
So
Was
my
that
question
herpes?
is, well,
don't know.
with the
I didn't
girl,
see the video.
with the, what I saw, yes, and it was coming
have
out
not seen
like
this
because they
video.
did porn. It was coming out that he was
Oh, I
giving so
remember
many
this. I
people
remember this. Okay, yeah.
herpes, and so I'm like,
I never heard of this.
I'm thinking it's easier to inspect, but it kind of
No,
sounds like I
'cause
got to
you-
be a doctor to inspect.
You have
you know,
to
for
do a
that
lab
shit.
test.
You have to do
because
a
they
lab
could have
test.
and
then you have some people that are
But I'm saying some people
asymptomatic.
don't have. You don't have to have
Oh, that too.
bumps to
Yeah.
have
And-
herpes. Like she's saying, that's a flare up.
That's
like,
that's literally
you know.
flare up.
So
like,
without a flare up, there's probably nothing to indicate that.
and that's I'm an asymptomatic person. So
So you
when
can't get it though if it don't flare up, right?
That's
Like,
what
you
they
can't-
say.
that's what they say.
Like,
That's what they
if
say.
you were to fuck Sean right
They-
now and you don't have a flare up, he wouldn't get it.
9 times out of 10, no.
What happens on that 10th time? I need to know.
I don't know because a lot of partners that I've had I've had to tell it was just my baby dad. I had to tell like 4 other people because I didn't know how long or who I got it from. So I had to low key backtrack and tell some people like,
How does it work when you? I guess because you didn't answer that yet. How does it work when you tell new people? I want you. This is your first date.
oh, tell new people.
Do you not tell on the first date?
I see, I've only had one new person that I had to tell. That's why I say I stick to my new people, to the same people that I know, and they cool, they fuck with it.
Okay.
But as for the new person, I unfortunately didn't tell him till after we had intercourse, and that made it even harder for me.
Was he pissed?
Actually, he was very understanding.
That's good.
Can't hold you. I would have been irate.
I expected him to be very irate and upset, but honestly, he was still very understanding. But I was more so beat myself up.
I wouldn't be
than
irate if I didn't
anything.
ask.
Because it's like I knew I had to tell him, and my intention was to tell him in that moment. But the moment was.
It just kind of got too heated and intense.
It got too heated and intense, and then at that point, I was just like, I'm in too deep. I'm like, even after I was just like, ooh, now you have to. Now you have to.
Last question before we get off, because we do want to touch on other shit. Do you think that I think that this is a very, like, I said I would be irate. I would, but at the same time, I would also share blame. This is where I share the blame. You have a new partner. Do you ask questions about STI testing? And if you don't ask shit, you got to at least take 30% of this blame.
And that is where his understanding came from, because he was like, I can't be more mad at you than not being mad at myself because I didn't ask questions.
Yeah. Now, if he would have asked and your ass would have lied,
Oh no, I wouldn't have lied. I have no reason to lie.
you definitely can't lie now.
You know, I definitely can't lie now.
Yeah,
but
it's like
I have no
Point of no return
reason.
once you start talking on this show. Okay.
So like I
Did this have anything to do with you mentioned that the fuck? Oh, I thought I saw something, y'all. My bad. It's the light flag.
Spooked
Never
by your
mind.
shadow.
Yeah. Is this had anything to do with? Because you had mentioned that you at one point trigger warning. By the way, I should definitely say that before I say this. At one point, you had mentioned that you attempted suicide. Did this have anything to do with it?
Actually, no. No. I did think about it at one point. It did cross my mind, but again, I was pregnant when I found out. So
It wasn't just you.
it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
Let me also say, if anybody is ever having any suicidal thoughts, tendencies, please call 988. I did not know this. 988 is the new suicide hotline number.
Yep.
Okay.
I called it, made sure it worked. Nobody showed up at my house. I hung up. I was like, oh, it works. But it's just 988.
This is a trial run.
Yeah, I just wanted to, like, because when I was looking it up, when I was writing out the
yeah.
notes, I was like, what's the suicide hotline number? It's a whole number, but they
It used to be
shortened it.
800 number.
Yeah, so it's 988. And I appreciate you for even coming on the show and talking about this because I realized, like, me and a couple friends were talking, and it was like, how many people do we know die from suicide? And I mean, numbers not like in the tens or anything, but it was like, damn, between us, we know a few people. So if all of these people actually died from it, how many people have thought about it? And then how many people have attempted and not succeeded? And someone had recently passed that we know, and it may have been or may not have been that. And somebody had mentioned that suicide was weak, and I didn't really like that. And I was curious what you thought about that. To people saying that you're weak because you want to commit suicide, or that you do commit suicide, or you attempt to commit suicide.
The hardest thing that we, as those who have attempted and succeeded, those who have just thought about it, those who have attempted and failed. I am one who have attempted and failed, and I am one who have thought about it. It's harder to stay alive for us than it is. It's harder for us to stay alive than it is for us to just, y'all think that when we actually do it, or when we finally, or if we attempt, that we've given up. No, we've actually gave our all. We've gave our all. And it's so hard to keep going when you're trapped in a cycle of nothing, of just loneliness and sadness and demise. And yes, you have your friends, and yes, you have your family, and yeah, they tell you, we here for you, we there for you, you know, call us, let us know if you need anything. But when we call, oh, I'm busy. When there's a function, oh, we forgot to invite you. When it's your birthday, you getting calls 2-3 days later, or no one shows up to your party. But when they need you, you there in an instant. You there for everybody. The moment you need somebody, nobody's there. No one sees the signs. No one notices when you get quiet.
Because they're not looking for him.
Because they're not looking for him. No one notices when you get quiet.
How can we be better allies to people going through those types of things?
Great question.
Ask questions, and not just what you doing or how you doing. How are you feeling mentally? Where are you mentally? What's really going on? Because of how you doing? I'm good. I'm straight.
So asking direct
okay.
questions.
How are you really
in
doing?
regards,
Where are you at mentally? I
so
get what you're saying.
Being direct, like asking direct questions in regards to their emotional and mental state.
Yeah.
So that they can actually talk it out and try to answer that question. And also I feel like, because sometimes people will just still brush those direct questions off too, but you can't let them.
No.
I guess in that sense.
Sometimes you gotta push, and it also falls on who's in your village.
I was gonna say that
It falls on who's in your village, and by the grace of God, I have an amazing village that
I love that.
that trust me is I'm the type, I will shut everybody off. I will I will block myself or just remove the apps off my phone. I'll cut my location off.
What should we do when you do that?
Do not disturb. Oh, my village.
they pop up.
Oh, they will rally. The last time I did that, most recently, they went and found my baby daddy just because he has a key to my house, and because they already know that this has happened to me before.
And my issue, like with this, is she has a village,
and there are a lot of people that don't,
and they don't have access to this, and I feel like, so I haven't, thought about committing suicide, but I feel for this, like this had me over here tearing up, like her voice, you know what I'm saying, like just talking about it, it's like this is a real thing, and it takes a community, a village, and it's like sometimes when you don't have that, you go finding it. And even though, like, I'm talking about sex parties, a lot of my closest people, like, it's in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't just have parties. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have real outings where we all collectively, we go out. We have drinks. We go to restaurants. We do comedy shows. Like, we really go out. And, like, that's what I'm trying to create within a community is togetherness. And
camaraderie.
And it just so happens to be a kink setting, you know what I'm saying? So,
and there's nothing wrong with that. You find your community where you are accepted.
Exactly.
And where you find happiness.
Yeah.
And if that just so happens to be
the
setting that you find your happiness in your community, by all means. The freaks come out at night. One.
I do want to give a shout out to that number one more time.
Yes.
It is 988. That is the suicide hotline.
Please call that number if you need it. Please.
Last thing I'll say is to the people who think that that's weak, I'm not here to discuss if it's weak or strong. I'm here to discuss that if you think that that's weak, think about how strong they were every day that they did not commit suicide.
Exactly.
And think about when 99.9% of the time, the day that someone commits suicide, it was not the first day that they thought about it.
It was not the first day. It was the day that they finally said, okay.
Yeah, and you don't know what people go through mentally in their own heads, because their life could be great. It could be fine, but it's not there for them. And that to me is not a weakness. That is an illness.
Exactly.
And I think that that's a way that we should look at that instead of calling it weak. Just like STIs are not dirty, suicide is not weak.
Exactly.
It is an illness.
It's an illness. It's far from being weak. It's actually is.
And there are so many underlying factors
to
that.
So many. It's the strongest thing, and I hate to say that, but it's the strongest thing someone has to fight and deal with daily. So yeah, y'all don't understand how hard it is for us that's actually still here.
Yeah. So
it's hard as fuck, yo. Like it's hard. We think if not daily, there are times.
I also think that we need to do a better job of discussing the positive and the solution instead of that shit weak. What does that do for me? What does that do for you?
What does that
do for the next person?
And it's also the person that's saying it's weak. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
How are you helping?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
and that's not helping by even saying
it's
that.
It's not.
Have that conversation in your private.
You don't have
Someone
anything
close
constructive.
to you probably feels exactly that way, and they just heard you call them weak.
Yep, exactly. That's another
And they
aspect
heard you call them weak,
mention.
and now you just added.
Yeah.
Adding to you're just adding fuel to the fire at that
adding
point.
fuel to the fire. Now they're in their head. Oh, now my best friend think I'm weak.
Yeah.
And they don't and they don't even know.
Exactly.
And what annoys me is when we post this, it's not gonna go viral. because there's no booty hole showing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Everybody thinks it's people out there, my haters. You get what I'm saying? These people who don't understand the podcast, they look at these raunchy clips, but they never watch the show, right? So they don't know that we have these real types of conversations every single day. So they're going to ignore this. They're not going to repost it. They're not going to comment. They're not going to like,
because
share.
It's not in their wheelhouse.
It's not in their wheelhouse. So, but what they will repost is my next question. How much do y'all like sucking dick?
It's the snort for me.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I want y'all to say how well y'all suck dick.
10.
10, okay.
I say 10.
Okay.
I know, I'll be honest. I give myself a 9.
I don't know, man. I'll admit.
I give myself
We
a
seen
9.
you suck some dick.
Yeah, we see you sucking dick. You did a great job.
Yeah.
See,
My dick was like,
I can't tell because he was down there about to suffocate himself with that.
Yeah, he said, so
the way that mask was going in his mouth.
So we are short on time, so I just want to touch real quick on 2 things. Thing 1, you did the tutorial with us. It was erotic massage, and we're very curious because we never discussed with you sucking dick. We discussed it jacking off. What made you suck the dick? Like it was like we seen something in your eyes, and I could like you kept getting close to it. And
It
then,
was the teaser. It was the teaser.
and then you sucked it, and then everybody looked up, and we was just like
literally mouths agape.
I mean, no, she was sucking that dick. Okay?
She was sucking that dick.
I love
I
it.
felt this. It's like I felt the gas, but there was no. I telepathy the gas. Okay, I
You
heard
heard
the
it in
gas
your mental
I heard
because
the gas.
we looked up and was both like,
Okay, I heard the gas, but he was
Tell me
begging
when you're
for it,
50.
and can't let him keep begging.
We
for
love a
too
beggar.
long.
Did you have fun sucking dick on camera?
I did.
Would you do it
That's
again?
probably lit.
I mean, I've sucked a few dicks on camera. I got OnlyFans.
I know
I meant
this.
for us, man.
Probably, maybe. You know.
Okay,
depends on
we'll call you.
Yeah,
We'll have our people call your people.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
cock I'm sucking?
Yeah, come on, people.
Do you suck dick or eat pussy better?
See, here's the thing. I'm bisexual, but
Yeah, I know.
I've probably only ate about 3 coochies.
Step your coochie game up.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to get your
All
coochie
coochies
up.
matter.
Try it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm gonna get you a pussy to
I'm
eat.
picky.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's my
Like, what's your
problem, too.
like? You picky, right?
I'm
Like,
only
example, would you like? Is Stephanie a cooter you would eat?
Yes.
Did you say yeast?
Yes.
Oh,
Wait, yeast?
I say yes.
Yes.
I was about to end the show and run.
Please shut.
Look, I'm over here like yeast.
I'm
Like,
like,
hold
it
on.
might be a fight.
Like, it's
I was gonna run
Somebody
till.
bacon roll?
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this the experience?
Hey, can you make
Like,
rolls with yeast infection juice?
No,
That's insane.
Sorry.
you shouldn't because you
That
shouldn't
is
eat it.
Diabolical.
Yeah, that was probably the nastiest shit I've
You'll
ever
get
seen.
thrush if you eat your own yeast infection.
Clumpy as hell.
All right, so Stephanie, you have a cleaning business.
So I have a cleaning and massage business.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
massage therapist.
Yeah. So when I told you I knew one.
You did tell me.
Yeah. And I was like, I'll just let y'all meet next week and let y'all see if it's a connection. If you need a 2-for-1, But
So tell us about your cleaning business.
Okay, so my cleaning business is called Yes Mistress Cleaning.
Yes,
and
Mistress.
Yes. So it's an alternative adult cleaning business where I do lingerie and nude.
Oh, so it's like a topless
Yeah.
cleaning business. I've actually always wanted to do that.
do you drop stuff on purpose?
Well, I mean, it's so
Are
it's,
they home when you clean?
I've never
Yeah, the
had
fuck she
some.
nugget in the house and nobody there.
So I do, and I don't do deep cleaning. So
It's just
and I would say about
It's
98%
like
of
dusting.
and 98% of the houses that I go to, I don't really clean. Like
they're probably already clean, aren't
they,
they?
they super clean. Like I'm talking about the nicest shit you ever. Can we cuss?
They just
Do
want
you give
yeah.
happy cleaning
Look
endings?
at you.
No. So with cleanings, no. Massage, yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if you clean my house, okay.
Yeah, can you walk me through like what your ritual would be for the cleaning part? Like just like when you come in, they book you, they know what they're getting. Obviously, do they select walk us through the process. They can select topless or lingerie,
Yep.
whatever. Okay.
So I used to offer topless, like where you still wear bottoms, but I never got booked once for that. So I kept it
Yeah,
to
I like to see booty crack.
lingerie or nude. Like I was like, dang, I've been doing this almost 2 years, and I literally
So people
had-
like either or. People like either
Yeah.
like we want you covered, we want the mystery, or I want to see everything.
everything.
You ever did it and the wife was at home?
Actually, yes, I have. I love my couples. Like, couples are so lit. Like, let me tell you. So when I get bookings for massage or cleaning, and the woman call, it always happen. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like when the man call, like he's like, "Hey, I want a massage for my wife." It never happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, never happens. So
She
when the
changed her
women
mind.
call, I'm like,
This is
Because that means exactly.
Like, this is for her.
Yeah, you know, like I've had women, they book their husbands and they come and watch. And I always tell them, like, I'm so for togetherness and for my couples, like, come join in. You know what I'm saying? So I offer
Massage your man with me.
I offer a couples massage, a couples experience, and then like even if they come in to sit in for a regular massage or whatever, you're more than welcome to come to watch, to help. You know what I'm saying? And that's at no charge, because it's just like
You are for the people. I love it.
So what would you do if somebody was like, "Thank you for the cleaning, but I now want to"?
I've had that happen before. So actually, it was funny. Like the first time somebody asked me for like, you know, extra services, I was like, you know, no. You know what I'm saying? For one, it's really good money in it already. And then, you know, it's certain businesses for certain things. You know what I'm saying? So where I might not offer super extra services, somebody else does. You know, so you actively choosing. I'm getting chose. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about preference.
You
like
just say no.
who you want. You know, so I've had I'll cuddle. So that was a real thing. So my first time cuddling, I'm a cuddler. Like anyway, and I was single. I am single now, but I'm dating.
There are professional cuddlers.
They make money. They out here making money.
Would
like
you cuddle with a couple?
I love couples. I would cuddle
You
with
like
couples.
lives?
I like to be sandwiched
I
right
like
between.
I would love to be a professional cuddler.
A little poke in the back, some
Yeah,
little
so I need
squish in
to
the
figure
front.
out how to do it, because you know some people ask for it.
I know a
but
couple that likes to cuddle.
He like his ass ate.
Yes.
Oh, I think I know who he's talking about.
I'm 2 for 2.
She clocked that ass.
I'm 2 for 2 this week. I'm just saying, you know. But look, this has been a dope episode of Cocktails with Cocktails. Clearly, I'm about to get my house clean. I
And maybe pay for a cuddle session.
Oh, no, we're going to have to discuss that, because when I say cuddle, I mean a little bit more, you know.
You mean fuddle.
Yeah, look. So, anywho, this has been a great episode. As always, ask for permission. Make sure she comes. Check the My Charts. Ask about STI testing. And
Subscribe to
918.
988.
God damn.
Right.
988. And Travis said, if y'all don't like, comment, and subscribe to our patreon.com/CWC the podcast and our youtube.com/CWC the podcast, he's gonna cry. So please do it.
Please don't make our cameraman
Please
cry.
do it.
This has been a great
Queen
episode of Cocktails with Cocktails. As Travis always says,
Cut.